Morning. It's 7 o'clock and I'm just leaving camp. I slept a little longer than planned because yesterday I made a really bad decision in the evening. Those 3 miles down to Blue Lake, I figured I'd just get them done, do dinner at the top, and then do those 3 miles. However, those 3 miles were 80% snow covered in hip deep slush, so it was a complete nightmare. There was no trail. It was post-holing all the way. By the time I got to the lake, pants were soaked, shoes were soaked, and I was so exhausted. Couldn't do anything but set up tent and fall asleep right away. So that was a really bad decision. And we'll see if we'll make some better ones today. Well, it's a change of plans again. Now that all those traverses after Blue Lake, they have a lot of snow left. And I think it was probably too warm tonight, but the snow wasn't compact at all, so it was just post-holing. And well, like I said, change of plans. So about halfway, well, a little more than halfway through that first traverse, I glissaded down into the valley, and I've decided to take a backup plan. There's a trail here. I'm currently bushwhacking this, more or less bushwhacking. I mean, it's a trail, but it's still very rough. And this is a detour down in the valley, which is lower elevation, and this should be a lot easier to cross. Well, that's the trail. So I'm kind of skipping those crucial traverses for today. They were not having the conditions that I wanted, and instead it's mud walking. This needs to be crossed. Mission successful, but it's freezing! In a way, the conditions up on the mountains are a little bit like I expected. The snowpack in Colorado this year only has about between 10 and 25% of the long-term average in southern Colorado, that is. And that probably has two consequences. It has many consequences. One is there's going to be significantly less meltwater for the rivers, reservoirs, and water supply. Now, what does that mean for hikers? Around Christmas and New Year's, there was a lot of talk in the community about this would be the perfect year to hike northbound. And there's probably some truth to it. I mean, there are some advantages for northbound hikers. I think as it stands, there's probably a lot more snow-free already than would be in other years, that's for sure. So that makes hiking easier, no question. However, the problem really is that the issue for most snowboard hikers is the date that they hike out. So most people start around mid-April in Mexico, and then they get to the San Juans around late May. And late May, even in a low snow year, is a time of year where the snowpack can't really have melted so far yet. It's just too early in the year. So while a lot more things are snow-free than they would usually are, the crucial sections, specifically the northern expositions, still have a lot of snow at this point of time. It will probably melt faster than in other years, but it's still there. And in a way, it doesn't really matter too much if there's 5 feet snow or 15 feet of snow, because well, snow. And so I guess it is convenient for people who come through the San Juans at a later point, probably around mid-June. They will probably be able to cross it almost snow-free a lot earlier than in other years. But the early season CDT hikers, which I belong to, is still having the same issue as in every other year, except that it's a little less snow than usual. Now my original plan was to take the Adam Forks Trail back up to the red line and then continue to Elwood Pass, but the weather forecast for this afternoon says it's going to be raining and high winds. So I decided to take the green alternate instead, which goes slightly lower and comes up to Elwood Pass from the other side. And there's a couple of places along the way where you could take shelter if push comes to shove. I'm just passing above Platoro, which is a little recreational seasonal village down here in the valley, on my way to climb the next little pass. And I'll be honest, after yesterday's walking, which was absolutely a little too much for me, I'm really happy that this is easier walking. Well, today is not my day. I don't know, I'm not feeling too well, I don't have much energy. I just feel shattered, probably left over from completely overexertion yesterday. So I stopped at 4:30. I was just passing this campground and there's a privy and there's tables and chairs. So since I don't really have any rush anyway, why not? Tomorrow is only 15 miles anyway, so it's not a big day. Just trying to get to Bonita Pass. And then on Sunday morning I will finish the rest to Wolf Creeks. I'm really happy with my decision for today. It did rain a couple of times down here and clouds went through. It wasn't anything bad, but I don't know how it looked up there. With regard to yesterday, I really needed a easy day, so I guess that is what I had.